Oi boys, welcome to another video on the channel. So we are here to talk about the most recent high profile transfers. It's been our mission this offseason to cover it all, and today we have a dozer or a doozy to kick off today's video. Now, we've been covering this Ben Hunt situation for months now, and it took plenty of twists and turns. Just last week, it seemed like a move to the Sydney Roosters was solidified, with pundits even predicting that a confirmation of his signing at the Roosters would be announced soon. Well, the scripts are in, and we have a doozy for the story of Ben Hunt as he will be returning to the Brisbane Broncos. Boys, the redemption arc just got greenlit. So here's the article I read. It says, it's official, Ben Hunt will be playing for the Brisbane Broncos under new coach Michael Maguire in 2025. Hunt has agreed to a 2-year deal worth around $600k a season to return home to Red Hill in Brisbane. As a Broncos supporter, it's the story I wanted all along. Just go back a month ago to where we discussed all the potential landing spots. The Ben Hunt redemption arc, not saying that they would definitely win the premiership, but it would be nice to see Benny close his career out at the Bronx. But yeah, there definitely are shots with the backstage shakeup, now the acquisition of Ben Hunt. The way the Ezra Mam situation is unfolding, I'm not expecting to see him anytime soon. I actually don't think he'll be playing in 2025, and from that article I read this, thinking the same thing. That in itself is a topic for another video. There's a lot of must-watches heading into the new season, and for me, all biased of course, the Broncos just shot up the list as the most anticipated. Again, that's coming from a biased Broncos supporter. Sure, we're getting Ben Hunt on the tail end. It's unknown whether he'd play hooker or 5/8. But 5/8 seems more likely, as they've already got a pretty solidified duo with Walters and Moser on the come up. If he is in fact playing in the halves, the Broncos will have the oldest halves pairing in the league. In the NRL era, I'm wondering if they're the oldest all time. I'm gonna need a fact checker to check me on that. That's a whole bunch of experience. Both players 34 years old. It's exciting times for Broncos fans after a disastrous 2024. With Michael Maguire at the helm and Ben Hunt back, the makeup of the side turns them back into genuine premiership contenders. Some spark at the back with Reece Walsh, a hard-headed, no-nonsense coach in Madge. I'd say the Broncos recruiting for 2025 might be hovering around A or B+. We're gonna rank it all in the coming weeks too, when the dust has settled and most teams have close to their 30-man roster. Now, that wasn't the only signing news. We got another little shift in the market. This just out yesterday. We get back-to-back bangers around the same time of the day, and it is the mighty Red V signing Offszn Ilias to a 2-year deal. One of the up-and-coming promising young halves in the league. At 24 years of age, he's made 53 appearances for the Rabbitohs, kind of thrown into a bit of a blender with the departure of Adam Reynolds. It all fell on his shoulders for them to do well, unfairly so. Like I said, he was just a young buck trying to find his feet in the league. Like, when has that ever worked out? Dumping a bunch of pressure on these young halves to perform. We always talk about experience and how all these halves that have matured in the league are the best performing halves in the comp. That is just a fact. Though there is one anomaly, and that is Nathan Cleary, and he's already being talked about in the same breath as the greats. Even he didn't get off to a great start, so yeah, kind of tough on Lachie Ilias, I thought, with how the Bunnies treated him. And it's not just the Bunnies, it's a league-wide thing. We've seen clubs chew players up, spit them out, young halves in particular. Look at Tom Dearden. How many have we seen go to the Super League? There is a deeper, darker when halves are underperforming, and it's rarely, if ever, solely on the half himself. So Ilias gets his second crack in the league. It's another great signing for St. George, although I will be talking more about their signings in tomorrow's video, as we are talking about their best 17 and that. I'll give my thoughts on how I think they could have had a perfect recruitment for 2025. Still, Offszn Ilias is a great get. He has a pretty decent running game and decent short kicking game, and it'll be interesting to see how he pairs with Kyle Flanagan, who also shares a similar skill set. Are they too similar to coexist? There is plenty to look forward to in this upcoming season. I feel like more so than ever with the Panthers taking another arrow to the knee. It doesn't do anything to their standing in the league, more so raises everyone else that are below them to their level. That's how it's always felt over this half a decade of Penrith dominance. And that's where I think we'll call it with the transfers. There's still a couple of names up in the air, but we finally get a conclusion to the Ben Hunt saga. At the moment, I'm working on our St. George predicted lineup for tomorrow morning, so expect that. And we'll be jumping back into Rugby League Live 4 in the coming weeks. It's some great news out of Red Hill. Let us know your thoughts on this Ben Hunt situation finally coming to a close. For more Rugby League related content and more content in general, go ahead and drop your boy a cheeky sub. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you later.